In this episode, you will learn 14 simple ways to build your confidence that you can incorporate today as you face career and life transitions. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. I hope February is treating you well wherever you may be. This month, we were talking about confidence and courage. And to that end, I spoke with Sherry Finkel-Murphy in episode 175 with a recap of our conversation in episode 176. As I coach so many women going through career and life transitions, one of the biggest issues that comes up is this. Okay, Kavita, now that we figured out what I should be doing next, how can I actually gain the confidence to actually do it? So many of us have thoughts or dreams of what we really want to do that nudge us, but because of fear or lack of confidence, we put those dreams away in our drawers. Then what happens? Sometimes we see that our idea or our dream that we had has been put out into the world by someone else. And then we think, damn, I should have done that. I don't want your dreams to die, my friend. If you even have an inkling of an idea of something you want to put out into the world, it is your obligation to do so. Is it writing? Is it painting and starting an Etsy shop? Is it going back to school? Is it starting a YouTube channel to share your music? What is holding you back? I would say it is fear and lack of confidence, right? That happened to me many years ago, where I let fear and lack of confidence stop me from doing what I knew I had to do. But I finally decided that confidence was going to take over, and here I am now, sharing these exact tips with you. Confidence is not something that we can gain overnight. It takes work and daily habits to incorporate them into our lives, so eventually they will become second nature. That is why I've created a guide for you called the 28 Days to Building Confidence. It's a PDF visual that you can print out and place on your wall and just pick one thing daily to focus on to help you build that confidence. Today, and in a subsequent episode, I'm going to give you 14 of those 28 tips to build your confidence as you go through life. These are tips I use daily, and I encourage my clients to do as well. You can download the guide to follow along, and you will receive daily email tips from me to follow. But today, I will share 14 of these powerful tips to build confidence because you know what? I don't want you to regret your life looking back when you're 80. Do you? So here is tip number 1. Be in the present moment. This is important to building confidence because when we focus on what we can control and what we are grateful for at this moment, this is important to building confidence because we focus on what we can control and what we are grateful for at this moment. Let's not regret the past or worry about future things that we cannot control. Remember, everything that ever happened and will ever happen can only happen in the present moment. So today, do the following. Give yourself a few moments, take a deep breath, and write down 3 things you are grateful for at this moment. You will see how it calms you down and builds your confidence to take your next steps. For example, I am grateful for my health, my beautiful community at It's My Time Now, and my sweet puppy Lena, who reminds me to always stay in the present moment. So tip number 1 is to be in the present moment. Tip number 2 is to visualize your inner mentor daily. This is important to building confidence because when we build a vision for our future, we create signs or signals internally and externally that begin the process of actually making that vision come true. Your inner mentor is you 20 years from now, for example. Where do you live? What do you look like? What have you accomplished? The greatest guidance lies within yourself. You are your greatest mentor. That's right, you. Listen to her and you will see how your confidence increases every day. For example, I visualize myself in 20 years having helped thousands of women to find their reason for being as they face their next stage in life. It gives me confidence knowing that I am on that path today. So to do the following, take out your journal, close your eyes, and visualize yourself 20 years from now in great and vivid detail. I have a visualization exercise you can download if you need help doing that. Once you've done that, open your eyes and write a letter from your inner mentor to you. What advice does she give you to get from where you are now to where she is? You'll see how doing this exercise gives you so much more confidence in your next steps. So tip number 2 is to visualize your inner mentor daily. Tip number 3 is to meditate or do centering exercises. This is important to building confidence because when we center ourselves, we remove distractions which cause us to clutter our thoughts. When we think clearly, we develop more confidence in ourselves and our abilities. The word meditation can be daunting to some, but remember, you don't have to be a master at it. Even taking a few moments a day to sit quietly or even take a walk in nature to clear your thoughts can be a form of meditation. For example, every morning I spend 10 minutes centering on one positive affirmation which sets me up for the day. So today do the following. Set aside 10 minutes and repeat the following statement to yourself in your mind. You can do this while sitting, while going for a walk, or even while doing a daily activity. Repeat to yourself, I am confident. I am amazing. I am confident. You will see how positively your body responds to these statements. So next tip number 3 was to meditate or to do centering exercises daily. The 4th tip is to journal your thoughts. This is important to building confidence because when we write things down, things become clearer and we remove the clutter which fills up our thoughts. Have you ever woken up and had so many amazing ideas which you just can't wait to act upon? If you journal those ideas, my friend, this action alone will start the momentum to actually realizing your dream. You will see how your confidence builds, so much so that you can't wait to journal again. For example, while I do journal every morning, sometimes in the middle of the night, I will have a brilliant idea. Instead of going back to sleep, I get out my journal and write it down. When I reread what I have written in the morning, it's actually pretty amazing. I'd like you to do this today. Take out a journal or buy one which inspires you and write the date on the next 7 pages. Each day, turn the page of your journal and write any thoughts that come to your mind. Don't think too much. Set the timer on for 10 minutes and go. You'll see how great you feel after doing that. So tip number 4 is to journal your thoughts. Tip number 5 is to play. That's right, play. This is important to building confidence because when we play, we'll release stress that is building up inside of us, and it allows us to become even more creative. Do you remember what you loved to do as a kid? What were you so passionate about that time just flew by? Can you incorporate that into your life now? For example, I used to love going to the playground and swinging high on the swings with abandon. Sometimes I will still do that. I'll take my grandniece out to the playground and swing with her and just giggle like a child for no other reason than to just play. Today, I'd like you to do one thing which is just fun and for no other reason than you just want to play. What can you do today which will make you laugh out loud? You will see how life's worries tend to melt away and you gain so much more confidence in yourself. So, tip number 5 is to play. Tip number 6 is to exercise. This is important to building confidence because when we exercise, it not only helps with our health, but our bodies release chemicals called endorphins. These endorphins trigger a positive feeling in the body, such as a feeling of confidence. Exercise also releases other happy hormones, such as dopamine and serotonin. Exercise does not mean you have to go to the gym every day for an hour. It can be as simple as getting up from your desk and stretching, going for a 15-minute walk in nature, doing yoga, or anything which causes your blood and breath to flow. For example, if I have an important meeting or a presentation and I need an added boost of confidence, I will ensure I do some form of exercise prior to that time. I love to do yoga and to take walks in nature, as well as more vigorous forms of exercises such as weight training. So, do the following. Take out your calendar and schedule 5 types of exercises you can do for the next 5 days. For example, today it could be a 15-minute walk. Tomorrow it could be a short swim. Whatever you love to do that is not too stressful for you to incorporate in your day, you will see how your confidence levels soar. So, tip 6 is to exercise. Tip number 7 to building your confidence is to read. Reading is important to building confidence because when we read, we learn and we become more creative, and that leads to confidence in whatever we are doing. By reading, I don't mean reading tabloids or scrolling your Instagram feed. I mean setting aside a short amount of time each day to read something meaningful, which interests you, which causes you to think or just to relax and be creative and imaginative. When we do things to break up our day, we stimulate different parts of our brain. If we read something that interests us, we can become more confident in our tasks or how we approach situations. For example, I read every night before I sleep, and usually there are like self-help books or motivating books, which give me confidence to impart my knowledge to others. I have read, for example, the book 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra countless times, and I continually refer to this book as a confidence booster for me. Other times I will read fiction as it takes me away to dream and be creative. So do the following. Dig up one book that you've been meaning to read or that has been sitting on your shelf. Take aside 15 minutes, whenever you feel is best, to read the book. See how great this makes you feel and develops your creativity and confidence to take your next steps. So tip number 7 is to read. Tip number 8 is to throw your shoulders back in confidence. This is important to building confidence because when we do this, we actually breathe better, feel taller, and more in control of the situation. Have you ever noticed how when we sometimes meet people and they have their shoulders hunched and are kind of looking down? Does that make you want to approach them and talk to them? Probably not. Conversely, if you see a person walk into a room with shoulders back, neck up, and walking confidently, doesn't it attract you to them? By hunching forward, we send signals to others that we're not sure of ourselves or not confident in our abilities. As an example, I often will do arm and shoulder exercises to increase my movement and confidence before I step into a stressful situation. It's amazing how just the act of rolling your shoulders back and looking up and forward can increase your level of confidence. So try this today. As you are sitting at your desk, become aware of how you are sitting. Are you slouched forward? Are you, as a result, feeling tired and unsure of yourself? Try rolling your shoulders back. Take a deep breath and smile. How did that feel? Do you feel more confident? So tip number 8 is to throw your shoulders back in confidence. Tip number 9 is to focus on an upright posture. An upright posture is important to building confidence because our posture is a projection of how we feel about a situation, person, or even ourselves. It is believed that 55% of how we communicate is in our body language. If you struggle with self-confidence, changing your posture can actually quickly change your mood. For example, pay attention to how you sit, stand, and walk. High-power postures have also been shown to increase levels of testosterone and lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Doing so will also lead to increased confidence. For example, when I walk into a room where I may not know anyone, I breathe deeply, stand upright, smile, walk straight, and look directly into people's eyes. So try this, even if you're not feeling confident. Sit or stand up straight with eyes forward and smile. Walk upright, hands by your side, chin up, and smile with confidence. You will see how immediately more self-assured you feel about yourself. So tip number 9 is to focus on an upright posture. Tip number 10, take pride in your appearance. This is important to building confidence because when we take time to look after ourselves, both internally and externally, we feel more confident. Appearance is not everything, but if we take some time to look after ourselves in terms of proper hygiene and making sure our outer appearance is fresh and crisp, we feel so much more confident. Have you noticed, even as we may be working from home, that if we remain in our sweatpants, not comb our hair or put on makeup, we feel lethargic and have less energy? For example, regardless if I'm meeting someone in person or in Zoom, I always wear a bit of lipstick and make sure my clothes are clean and bright. It gives me just more pride and confidence to tackle the tasks at hand. So do this today. Whether or not you're meeting someone, freshen yourself up. Get out of those sweatpants and put on some bright lipstick. You are beautiful inside and out, and take pride in yourself, my friend. So, tip number 10, take pride in your appearance. Tip number 11, wear bright colors. This is important to building confidence because color actually has an effect on our psyche, and it affects us whether we are aware of it or not. There's color therapy experts show that different colors elicit different feelings. For example, burgundy is going to make you feel stable, grounded, and centered. Pink is the color of love, and orange helps you bring you out of your shell. Yellow gives you courage and joy, and the color red elicits the greatest feeling of any color. Red sends the message of confidence to the world. For example, you may notice I often wear different shades of red and orange quite a lot. I genuinely feel better and more confident if I add a splash of color to my wardrobe. It's really an automatic feeling for me. So try this today. If you normally wear shades of gray or a lot of black, try to throw in a bit of bright color to your usual wardrobe. This could be a bright scarf, a stunning sweater, or even red lipstick. You will see how your confidence soars by doing this small little trick. So, tip number 11, wear bright colors. Confidence tip number 12, surround yourself with positive people. This is important to building confidence because positive people give you encouragement, inspire you, help you focus on your best traits, and celebrate your victories. This will all lead to self-confidence. I talk a lot about the energy that surrounds us all, and there are 2 types of energy: catabolic or destructive energy, or anabolic, which is a building up energy. If we surround ourselves with positive people who have a lot of anabolic energy, we will see how your confidence increases. For example, when I walk in a room, I can almost immediately feel who has anabolic versus catabolic energy. I gravitate towards those people who are positive, and automatically I feel more positive and confident. So take notice of what type of energy you and people around you are exuding. Try to stay away from negative people and instead gravitate towards those positive people, whether that is in person or even people you follow on social media or the shows you watch on TV. So Confidence tip number 12 is to surround yourself with positive people. Tip number 13, stop caring what other people think. This is important to building confidence because if you are constantly worried about what other people think, you will never get to where you need to go in life. I don't mean stop caring about people. I mean, don't always have the fear of judgment, which will really stop you in your tracks. When you are confident in your own decisions and actions, you actually become more attractive. When you look inwards for answers versus always looking for others' approval, you will always receive the best source of advice. For example, when I left my stable corporate job of over 25 years to start my own business, there was a lot of judgment from people around me. If I worried about what other people thought, I would never have taken action to be where I am today. So write down one thing that you've always wanted to do but haven't yet because you're worried about what someone else will think about it. I want you to do that thing, regardless of what other people say. Afterwards, reflect on how doing that thing made you feel. Did it give you more confidence to do the next brave thing? I think it will. So tip 13 was stop caring what other people think. And the last tip for today is tip 14, acknowledge your fears. This is important to building confidence because when you acknowledge your fears, you are actually growing. We all have fears of failure, loss, judgment, or even the fear of success. Acknowledging your fears is actually a good thing because if you recognize that they're there, but do the thing anyway, you get out of your comfort zone and go into your growth zone. For example, when I thought of launching a podcast, I had a lot of fears. Fear of judgment, of failure, or yes, even of success. But I faced these fears and did it anyway, and now I have over 170 episodes published. I can honestly say it was the best thing I've ever done to not only gain my confidence, but to meet incredible people along the way like you. So I'd like you to write down this question in your journal. What are the top 3 things I really want to do in the next 6 months? Next to those things, write down one fear that is stopping you from doing that thing. Next, write down how you would feel if you faced that fear and did it anyway. By facing your fears, you will see how your confidence soars. So tip number 14 is to acknowledge your fears. So these are the first 14 of the 28 days to building confidence. And in my next solo episode, I will share the rest. Try to incorporate these into your daily lives, my friend, and let me know, did they help you gain the confidence that you need to do the thing? Remember, you can download the guide, which is in the show notes. And if you'd like to discuss, please book a call with me. You know I am here for you. You can email me at kavita@itsmytimenowcoaching.com. And as I shared in my last episode, my comprehensive online course, It's My Time Now, is available for you today. This is a course which will take you step by step to the pyramid of reinvention with exercises, videos, tools, and templates you can have for life for a very small price. Click the link in the show notes to find out more or book a call with me to discuss if this course is right for you. So until next time, my friend, remember, you have the confidence within yourself to move forward. You just need to practice. All my love, stay well until next time.